This is the sound of a saxophone made of ice. And this is me. I'm Euromaxx reporter Hendrik Welling, and here I trudge across the tundra, on my way to the ice music festival in Finse, Norway. Ice on stage and ice all around. How did I end up in this inhospitable place?
Is this really the right place for a music festival? There's nothing but ice and snow and wind over here. But that's exactly the point. Ice and snow is the only thing that will be used to make music. I find that hard to believe, but let's find out how they do it.
The stage was supposed to have been here, and it too was supposed to have been made entirely of ice. I inspect the rather sorry remains together with festival employee Emil Holber. The strong wind combined with this year's relatively mild temperatures literally blew away the structure made of ice-encrusted netting.
There's a fine line between clever and stupid. It is. It's a little bit like, I've called it, it's like a really nice art/lunacy. We want a more pure experience. We want to be out actually in the elements. And certainly, you know, if there's a full moon, it's fantastic. And it just feels more authentic. Yeah.
The organizers are used to dealing with nature's whims. So they improvised a new stage inside an old shed. This is the festival's 14th edition. It was the brainchild of Norwegian musician Torje Isungset. Almost 20 years ago he discovered the many kinds of sounds ice can make, quite by accident.
I just fell in love with it because it sounded so fantastic, and it also looked really nice. So I thought it would be really nice to have a festival to invite lots of creative people and see what we can do with ice and snow. And having only one rule, everyone has to deal with ice and snow.
This is Europe's coolest and perhaps most inaccessible music festival. The only way to reach Finse is by train. There are no roads here, just a railway station, a few vacation cottages and lots of ice and snow. Finse lies in the Norwegian highlands at 1222 meters altitude, midway between Bergen and Oslo. During last year's festival, temperatures dropped to minus 27 degrees Celsius. Not far away is the Hardangerjökull glacier. Finse is the highest station on the Bergen railway line. Right next door is the only hotel far and wide.
It's because of these railway tracks that this hotel exists. The Finse 1222, and it became a legendary place.
It was originally built to house the workers building the rail line. But the region's natural beauty soon brought tourists here, and eventually Trygve Kloster Norman too. He's been running the hotel for about 30 years now. During the Ice Music Festival, its 41 rooms are nearly all occupied by the musicians and concert goers. Since the hotel opened some 110 years ago, it's had many prominent guests. Some polar researchers too, who came here to practice dealing with extreme weather conditions. Time almost seems to have stood still here.
Our vision of this place is that Finse should not change, because this is one of these places where you should have sort of an everlasting atmosphere, in a sense. All other places are being built and developed and things like that, and we don't think that's necessary. We need some of these places which are looking basically as they were 50, 60, 100 years ago.
Finse is not only a very unique location, but it is also a mecca for Star Wars fans.
The Star Wars connection comes from scenes in The Empire Strikes Back that were shot here in 1979. Finse was turned into the ice planet Hoth, and it's one of only 2 original shooting locations fans can visit.
May the 4th, that's the official Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. On May the 4th, we've had a steady influx of people coming with their small models and things, and dress up like this guy here or Darth Vader or something. In a sense, you can see from the pictures, it looks exactly like it did at that time. So they feel that they are here. They're on the ice planet.
Oh, yeah.
The Ice Planet supplies the raw materials for the Ice Music Festival. In December, festival organizers begin sawing blocks of ice out of the frozen Finse vatnet. I watch Even Rück at work. Later, these will be carved into instruments. The organizers bring in a total 9 tons of ice during the winter. The ice has a variety of qualities at different spots on the lake.
There are several different types. It depends on how the water is floating when it freezes in. That's important for the sound. It's clear and not too many air bubbles. So I think we can get some good sound for the instruments.
This is where all the magic happens. This is the place where all the musicians are building the ice instruments, and I'm going to try to create one on my own.
It only takes the musicians a few hours to fashion their instruments. Torje Isungset cuts a piece for a marimba out of ice.
Something like this. This tone, okay, and I want a higher pitch. So.
Oh. Amazing.
All right, now it's my turn.
It's like butter.
I'm dead set to create something with a decent sound.
We're working with.
But the ice is just a bit more delicate than I thought.
Yeah.
Somehow you can make all kinds of instruments, but I think the most interesting thing is to try to make kind of fantasy instruments also, or instruments that are not actually copies of existing instruments.
I'm really eager to try out this particular instrument, a kind of saxophone in ice, created by Norwegian jazz musician Kjetil Mostre. It's hard to make and even harder to play.
It's so hard. It's so hard. But at least one sound. I got one sound, right? How do you make a different sound? I mean,
different pressure.
no chance. No.
I'd better let a professional do this. The audience comes from all around the world to experience one or more of the total 8 concerts in 3 days.
It's kind of like to realize our dream after several years.
I'm from Italy.
From Italy?
Yes.
And you came all the way
And I
to
came
Norway for the
all
music
the way
festival?
for this festival.
Really?
Yes, because I thought it was something amazing, incredible.
The improvised stage isn't entirely made of ice. We in the audience have to sit outside in the snow and the subarctic frost, so the concerts rarely last much longer than 45 minutes.
The Ice Music Festival was a really cool experience. Cool people, cool instruments. But what I like the most is that the music matches perfectly with this really impressive landscape.
Cristo.